Hello and welcome. Especially to you who value your health and cherish the thought of an active, stable later life. Have you ever paused, perhaps midway up the stairs or as you push yourself out of a comfortable chair, and wondered why your legs just don't feel as strong as they used to? Why each step seems a little steeper, each movement requiring just a bit more effort than before? We often attribute this to the simple, almost inevitable explanation. It's just aging. We tell ourselves we're eating well, perhaps even making an effort to walk daily, yet that persistent feeling of heaviness, that occasional creak in the knees, or that lack of spring in our step remains, sometimes even worsening. It's a confusing paradox, putting in the effort for wellness, yet feeling our foundation, our very legs, subtly weakening beneath us. But must we accept aging as the final verdict? Could there be another factor at play, a hidden saboteur, perhaps, operating silently within the choices we make every single day, choices we firmly believe are good for us? What if I told you that part of the reason for this leg weakness, for that nagging joint discomfort, might stem from nature's own sweet gifts, the very fruits we've been encouraged to eat for a lifetime? Yes, you heard correctly. The culprit might just be hiding in plain sight, right there in your fruit bowl. Prepare yourself, because the truth we're about to uncover could fundamentally change how you view these supposedly innocent, healthy staples. For decades, we've been indoctrinated with the belief that fruits are unequivocally good for us. Packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber, they are touted as nature's perfect health food. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? And indeed, many fruits offer tremendous benefits. But here lies a crucial distinction, a truth often glossed over: not all fruits are equally beneficial, especially as our bodies navigate the changes that come after the age of 60. The blanket assumption that more fruit is always better can be a dangerous oversimplification for seniors. Why? Because our bodies are not static machines. As we age, significant physiological shifts occur. Our metabolism naturally slows down, meaning our ability to process sugars, even the natural ones found abundantly in fruit, becomes less efficient than it once was. Our circulatory system often weakens, blood flow, particularly to the extremities like our legs and feet, may diminish, making these areas more vulnerable. Furthermore, our joints, having carried us through decades of life, tend to become more sensitive, and our bodies may develop a lower threshold for inflammation triggers. This is where seemingly innocent fruits can start to cause trouble. The very components that give fruits their appeal, their natural sweetness, and sometimes tangy acidity, can become problematic. Let's break down the core mechanisms of harms. First, the natural sugars. While better than refined sugars, fruits like mangoes, bananas, and even watermelon can deliver a potent dose of fructose and glucose. In an aging body with slower metabolism, this often leads to sharp spikes in blood sugar levels. These rapid surges, followed by crashes, put stress on our insulin regulation. More importantly, frequent blood sugar spikes are a known driver of systemic inflammation. This inflammation doesn't just stay generalized, it particularly affects areas with compromised circulation, like the small blood vessels, dulce capillaries in your legs. Over time, these spikes can cause damage to these vessels, impairing blood flow, reducing oxygen and nutrient delivery to your leg muscles and nerves, and ultimately contributing to feelings of pain, fatigue, numbness, and weakness. Second, the natural acids. Fruits like pineapples and oranges are rich in acids like citric and malic acid. While generally harmless for younger individuals, these acids can act as irritants to the delicate tissues within aging joints, especially if you already suffer from arthritis or underlying joint inflammation. Think of it like pouring a mild acidic solution onto an already sensitive surface. It exacerbates the existing irritation, potentially leading to increased stiffness and pain. And then there's fructose, a specific type of sugar prevalent in many fruits, particularly grapes. When consumed in excess, fructose places a significant burden on the liver. When the liver can't process it all efficiently, it converts the excess into fat and, crucially, into uric acid. Elevated uric acid levels are the direct cause of gout and can contribute significantly to general joint pain and inflammation, particularly in the feet and knees. The most insidious part of this process is its subtlety. There's no immediate, dramatic reaction after eating a piece of fruit. The damage is gradual, cumulative. It creeps up on you, day by day, week by week, until one morning, you wake up with an unexplainable stiffness in your knees. Or perhaps you find yourself wincing from a sharp pain in your calf after only a short walk. Or maybe it's just a persistent, dull ache in your thighs that you can't quite shake. By the time these symptoms become obvious, the underlying damage may have been accumulating for years, fueled, in part, by fruits you believed were only doing you good. This hidden burden is what makes understanding the right fruit choices so critical for maintaining leg strength and mobility as we age. So, let's pull back the curtain and examine these seemingly innocent fruits one by one. We're about to delve into the specifics of 7 popular choices that, despite their reputation, might be silently undermining your leg's strength, joint health, and overall mobility. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about empowering you with knowledge to make informed decisions for your well-being. And before we dive into this crucial list, if you're finding this information valuable and want to stay informed about health truths that often go unsaid, please take a moment to click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Your support helps us continue sharing vital insights. Now, let's get started. Pineapple. The taste of the tropics, juicy, refreshing, and often celebrated for containing bromelain, an enzyme lauded for its natural anti-inflammatory properties. Many seniors, hearing this, actively incorporate pineapple into their diets, hoping it will soothe aching joints. It seems like the perfect healthy indulgence. But here's the twist, the side of pineapple few discuss. Firstly, its delightful tang comes from a significant natural acid content. For an aging digestive system, and, more importantly, for joints already prone to sensitivity or diagnosed with arthritis, this acidity can act as a low-grade irritant. It might not cause immediate, sharp pain, but think of it as constantly rubbing sandpaper on an already tender spot. Over time, this can worsen underlying inflammation, contributing to that persistent, dull ache or stiffness you feel in your knees or hips, especially noticeable in the mornings after consuming pineapple the previous day. Secondly, let's not forget the sweetness. Pineapple packs a considerable punch of natural sugars. As we've established, for individuals over 60, whose bodies process sugar less efficiently, this can trigger a relatively rapid spike in blood sugar. Remember those tiny blood vessels in your legs. They are particularly vulnerable to damage from these frequent sugar surges. This damage impairs circulation over time. Less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach your leg muscles and nerves. The result? That familiar heavy, dragging sensation in your calves after a short walk, unexplained swelling around the ankles, or a feeling of weakness when simply standing for a while. Furthermore, while bromelain has benefits, it can also interact with certain medications, most notably blood thinners like warfarin, Coumadin. It can potentially enhance their effects, increasing the risk of bruising or bleeding. It might also interact with some antibiotics and sedatives. If you're on medication, consuming large amounts of pineapple regularly without consulting your doctor might not be wise. The true danger of pineapple lies in its stealth. The negative effects aren't usually dramatic or immediate. They build up gradually, almost imperceptibly. You enjoy the taste, believe you're doing something good with the bromelain, all while the acid might be subtly irritating your joints and the sugar impacting your leg circulation. It's a quiet betrayal, often only recognized when the accumulated discomfort becomes too significant to ignore. Bananas, the ubiquitous, convenient, soft, sweet fruit, practically a staple in households worldwide. They are famously rich in potassium, earning them a reputation as the go-to snack for preventing muscle cramps and fueling workouts. Many seniors rely on bananas for a quick energy boost or believe they are essential for muscle health. However, for the aging body, the banana's profile presents significant challenges. They are loaded with natural sugars fructose, glucose, sucrose, and rapidly digestible carbohydrates. This combination means that shortly after eating a banana, your blood sugar levels can soar quite dramatically. As we age, our sensitivity to insulin often changes. Repeated, sharp spikes in blood sugar force the pancreas to pump out more insulin. Over time, this can contribute to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes, and a major driver of chronic, body-wide inflammation. This inflammation doesn't just affect major organs, it directly impacts your joints and, crucially, the circulation in your legs. The result can manifest as that dull ache when walking, a feeling of heaviness in the legs after meals, especially if that meal included a banana, or unexplained stiffness in your calves. Grapes, those little globes of juicy sweetness, are incredibly easy to pop into your mouth one after another. They come in various appealing colors and are often praised for containing resveratrol and other antioxidants, supposedly beneficial for heart health. Snacking on a bowl of grapes seems like a perfectly harmless, even virtuous habit. But lurking within these tempting morsels is a significant concentration of fructose. As we touched upon earlier, fructose is processed differently than other sugars, primarily by the liver. When consumed in large quantities, which is remarkably easy to do with grapes, because they're small and don't feel filling, the liver can become overwhelmed. It converts the excess fructose it can't immediately use for energy into triglycerides, a type of fat, and, critically for joint health, into uric acid. Uric acid is the villain behind the excruciating pain of gout. When levels in the bloodstream become too high, uric acid can crystallize into sharp, needle-like structures. These crystals tend to deposit in joints, often favoring cooler areas like the big toe, ankles, knees, and fingers. This deposition triggers an intense inflammatory response, causing the characteristic sudden onset of severe pain, redness, swelling, and heat associated with a gout attack. Have you ever experienced a sudden, stabbing pain in your big toe, seemingly out of nowhere, perhaps waking you up at night? Or noticed unexpected swelling and tenderness in your ankle joint? While other factors contribute to gout, a high intake of fructose, rich foods like grapes can significantly increase your risk or trigger flare-ups if you're already susceptible. Beyond the direct gout risk, elevated uric acid and the general inflammatory cascade triggered by excess fructose contribute to chronic inflammation throughout the body. This underlying inflammation can worsen existing conditions like osteoarthritis, making joints feel generally stiffer, achiever, and less mobile. The real danger with grapes lies in their deceptive ease of consumption. Unlike a large mango or pineapple, you can mindlessly eat dozens, even hundreds, of grapes while watching TV or chatting. Before you know it, you've ingested a substantial fructose load, placing stress on your liver and potentially fueling the fire of joint inflammation and uric acid buildup. So, while grapes offer some antioxidants, their high fructose content and the tendency for overconsumption make them a potential hazard for aging joints. On a sweltering summer day, what could be more refreshing than a cold, crisp slice of watermelon? It's synonymous with hydration, light sweetness, and low calories, given that it's mostly water. We tend to eat it freely, assuming it's doing little more than quenching our thirst and providing a guilt-free treat. But prepare for a shock. Watermelon has an exceptionally high glycemic index, GI. The GI measures how quickly a food causes blood sugar levels to rise. Despite its high water content, the sugar in watermelon is absorbed into the bloodstream extremely rapidly, almost as fast as eating pure glucose or sugary candy. For a younger, active person, the body might handle this rapid influx reasonably well. But for seniors, whose blood sugar regulation is often less robust, this intense sugar spike is bad news. It triggers a significant insulin surge and, as we know, repeated surges like this promote inflammation. Where does this inflammation often hit hardest? In areas with potentially compromised circulation, namely, the legs. What might you feel? A noticeable fatigue or heaviness in your legs shortly after indulging in watermelon. Perhaps a subtle but persistent swelling around your ankles by the end of the day. You might find that climbing stairs feels more challenging, as if your legs lack their usual power. These are potential signs that the inflammatory response triggered by that seemingly harmless watermelon is affecting your lower limbs. The illusion of watermelon is powerful. It feels light, watery, and safe. This often leads people to consume large quantities in one sitting 2, 3, even more slices are common. But each slice delivers another hit of rapidly absorbed sugar, keeping the blood sugar roller coaster going and continuously fueling the inflammatory process. So, is watermelon truly just a hydrator for seniors? Or is each juicy bite a sweet trap, subtly contributing to leg discomfort, swelling, and difficulty moving? If you've been experiencing unexplained leg fatigue or puffiness, especially during warmer months when watermelon consumption might increase, it might be time to reconsider its place on your plate. The feeling is light, but the impact on your blood sugar, and consequently your legs, can be surprisingly heavy. Oranges, lemons, grapefruits, these vibrant citrus fruits are practically synonymous with health and vitality. They are celebrated as champions of vitamin C, essential for immune function. A glass of orange juice in the morning is a deeply ingrained ritual for many, believed to be a cornerstone of a healthy start to the day. But behind that bright, zesty appeal lies a potential downside for aging bodies, particularly for those already dealing with joint issues. The defining characteristic of citrus fruits is their high citric acid content. While generally well tolerated by younger people, this acidity can be problematic for seniors whose joint cartilage may be thinning and surrounding tissues more sensitive. When citric acid enters the bloodstream, it can potentially act as an irritant to these delicate joint tissues. This isn't usually an immediate, sharp pain, but rather a factor that can increase underlying inflammation and sensitivity, leading to more pronounced stiffness and aching. Do you notice your knees feeling particularly stiff when you get out of bed, especially if you had orange juice the night before? Do you experience a persistent, low-level ache in your hip joints? Or perhaps an uncomfortable, restless feeling in your legs after sitting for a while if you recently consumed citrus? While age is often blamed, the acidic nature of these fruits could be a contributing factor, subtly aggravating your joints. Furthermore, the natural sugars present in oranges and other sweet citrus fruits, combined with the acid, also contribute to fluctuations in blood sugar levels. While perhaps not as dramatic as watermelon or bananas, these fluctuations still feed the cycle of inflammation throughout the body, further impacting joint comfort and potentially hindering circulation to the legs. The situation becomes even more concerning with commercial orange juice. These products are often stripped of fiber and frequently contain significant amounts of added sugar, drastically amplifying the negative impact on both blood sugar and inflammation. Even freshly squeezed juice, consumed in large quantities, delivers a concentrated dose of both sugar and acid without the beneficial fiber found in the whole fruit. It's a true paradox reaching for oranges for their health benefits, especially vitamin C, while potentially worsening the very joint pain and stiffness you hope to alleviate. Pay close attention to how your joints feel after consuming citrus. If there's a correlation with increased discomfort, it might be wise to moderate your intake or focus on getting vitamin C from less acidic sources. Green apples, with their crisp texture and distinctly tart flavor profile, are often perceived as the healthier, or safer, apple choice, especially by those trying to limit sugar intake. They seem less indulgent than their sweeter red cousins, projecting an image of clean, wholesome goodness. However, let's not be fooled by the lower perceived sweetness. Firstly, green apples still contain a not insignificant amount of natural sugar. Secondly, their characteristic tartness comes from a high concentration of malic acid. For some older adults, particularly those with sensitive digestive systems or pre-existing joint sensitivity, this malic acid can be problematic. It can cause mild gastric irritation in some. More relevant to our discussion, once absorbed, it might also contribute to discomfort in joints and muscles. Some individuals report a subtle aching or feeling of heat in their hips or thighs after eating green apples, or perhaps a tightness in their knees. It's often a delayed or mild sensation, easy to dismiss, but with regular consumption, the effect can accumulate. And let's revisit the sugar content. While less sweet tasting, the natural sugars in green apples are still sufficient to cause blood sugar fluctuations in seniors with slower metabolisms. As we've repeatedly seen, these fluctuations are undesirable. They can contribute to muscle fatigue in the legs, nighttime leg cramps, that unwelcome morning stiffness, or a feeling of weakness when climbing stairs. The perceived safety of green apples often leads to them being consumed frequently as a raw snack, sometimes even late in the evening. This constant exposure to both malic acid and natural sugars, even at moderate levels, can have a cumulative negative impact over time. So, while reaching for a green apple might feel like a more disciplined choice than a red one, it doesn't necessarily get a free pass, especially for sensitive aging bodies. It could be subtly contributing to digestive unease, joint aches, and those frustrating nighttime cramps or feelings of leg weakness. Listen to your body. If you experience these symptoms and regularly eat green apples, consider if there might be a connection. That safe snack might not be as benign as it appears. Mango, the mere name evokes images of tropical sunshine, luxurious sweetness, and exotic flavor. Its velvety texture and intense, candy-like sweetness make it arguably one of the most beloved fruits worldwide, a true indulgence. But brace yourself, because this tropical delight might just be the most detrimental fruit on our list when it comes to the joint health and leg strength of seniors. Why? One simple reason: an extremely low, high natural sugar content. We're not talking about a little sweetness. We're talking about a massive sugar payload delivered rapidly to your system. When you eat a ripe mango, especially a large portion, your blood sugar doesn't just rise, it skyrockets. This creates an intense sugar shock for an aging body that struggles to regulate glucose effectively. The pancreas goes into overdrive, releasing insulin, followed by the inevitable crash. Each time this dramatic cycle occurs, it triggers a powerful inflammatory response deep within your body, particularly targeting soft tissues and joints. Think of it as pouring gasoline on the embers of any existing inflammation in your ankles, hips, and knees. The pain can become more pronounced, the stiffness more debilitating. Furthermore, for seniors who may also have underlying nerve issues, neuropathy, often associated with diabetes or simply aging, this intense sugar spike can seriously aggravate symptoms. You might experience a burning sensation in your toes or feet, persistent tingling or pins, and needles that won't go away, noticeable swelling around your feet in the evening, or a creeping heaviness and weakness in your legs that makes walking feel like wading through mud. What makes mangoes particularly treacherous is their deceptive texture. They feel light and refreshing, not heavy like a starchy meal. This makes it incredibly easy to consume large portions without feeling overly full. But your body doesn't care about the feeling of lightness. It reacts strongly to the massive sugar load. Many seniors enjoy mangoes as a natural treat, a healthy dessert alternative, and it is natural. But remember, natural does not always equal safe. For compromised circulation and aging joints, the heavenly taste of mango might come at the steep price of increased joint pain, sluggish movement, and unsteady legs. If you suffer from joint pain, nerve symptoms, or blood sugar issues, mango is one fruit you should approach with extreme caution, or perhaps avoid altogether. Now that we've unveiled the potential dark side of these 7 popular fruits, you might be feeling a bit discouraged. But don't despair. The picture isn't bleak. The key takeaway isn't to eliminate fruit entirely, but to become a more discerning consumer. And the good news is, nature also provides a wealth of fruits that actively support strong legs and healthy joints. Let's turn our attention to those healing alternatives. So, we've journeyed through the potential pitfalls hidden within some of our favorite fruits. It might feel a little daunting, perhaps leaving you wondering, what can I safely enjoy? Please don't feel discouraged. The intention was never to demonize fruit, but to highlight the importance of making informed choices tailored to your body's current needs. The wonderful news is that nature is incredibly generous. Alongside the fruits that demand caution, there exists a fantastic array of options that are true allies to aging bodies, actively working to nourish your legs, soothe your joints, and support your mobility. Let's now explore these golden alternatives, the fruits that can help you build strength and maintain comfort as you age. Think of these as tiny but mighty anti-inflammatory powerhouses. Berries are nutritional superstars for seniors. They are naturally low in sugar, meaning they won't send your blood glucose on a roller coaster ride. They are packed with fiber and, most importantly, loaded with potent antioxidants called anthocyanins responsible for their rich red, blue, and purple hues. These anthocyanins are champions at protecting your blood vessels, improving microcirculations, especially crucial for leg health, and directly combating inflammation throughout your body. Regular consumption can contribute to less stiffness, reduced swelling, and an overall feeling of lighter, more agile legs. Enjoy them fresh, frozen, in smoothies, or sprinkled over yogurt or oatmeal. If gout or general joint aching due to high uric acid is a concern, cherries might be your secret weapon. Particularly tart cherries have gained significant attention for their unique compounds that help lower uric acid levels in the blood and reduce joint inflammation. Studies suggest they can decrease the frequency and severity of gout attacks and offer relief from the burning, aching sensations associated with inflamed joints. A small handful daily, or a measured amount of tart cherry juice, unsweetened, can provide noticeable benefits. Remember, moderation is still key due to their natural sugar content, but their targeted benefits for joint health are remarkable. Yes, botanically speaking, avocado is a fruit, and it's one of the absolute best for joint health. Its magic lies in its abundance of healthy monounsaturated fats. These good fats play a critical role in reducing systemic inflammation throughout your body. They act almost like a natural lubricant for your joints, promoting smoother movement and cushioning impact. Additionally, avocados have a very low impact on blood sugar, providing stable, sustained energy without the inflammatory spikes caused by high sugar fruits. They help you feel full and satisfied, too. Add slices to salads, blend into smoothies, or enjoy on whole grain toast. This gentle tropical fruit offers a double benefit: digestive support and anti-inflammatory action. Papaya contains unique enzymes like papain and chymopapain, which aid in protein digestion and have well-documented anti-inflammatory properties. This makes papaya incredibly gentle on the stomach and soothing for sensitive joints. If you find some other fruits cause digestive upset or seem to aggravate joint discomfort, papaya is often a much better tolerated, calming alternative. Its soft texture is also easy on chewing. Pears offer a gentle sweetness without being overwhelmingly sugary, especially when compared to fruits like mangoes or bananas. They are also a good source of dietary fiber, particularly if you eat the skin, which helps slow down sugar absorption and promotes digestive health. Their milder impact on blood sugar makes them a more suitable choice for providing steady energy without stressing your system. To further stabilize blood sugar response, consider pairing pear slices with a small handful of nuts or a dollop of plain yogurt. These golden fruits work with your body, not against it. They provide essential nutrients while actively helping to combat inflammation, support healthy circulation, and stabilize blood sugar, all crucial factors for maintaining strong, comfortable, and reliable legs as you age. Making the switch isn't about deprivation, it's about choosing allies that empower your health journey. So, we've journeyed together, exploring the complex relationship between fruit and the aging body. The core message isn't that fruit is inherently bad, but that awareness and intelligent selection are paramount, especially after 60. What served you well in your youth might require reconsideration now. But this knowledge isn't meant to restrict you. It's intended to empower you. The power truly lies in your hands. You now have the insight to listen more closely to your body's signals, to recognize potential triggers, and to make conscious choices that actively support your well-being. Please don't feel overwhelmed or believe it's too late to make a difference. It's never too late. Even small, consistent adjustments, like swapping a high-sugar fruit for a handful of berries, or choosing avocado over banana in your smoothie, can yield significant improvements over time. Think of aging not as a decline, but as a journey into greater wisdom about how to best nourish and care for the incredible vessel that carries you through life. When you begin to mindfully select foods that promote strength, circulation, and joint comfort, you will notice the change. Steps might feel firmer, mornings less stiff, movement smoother, and your overall sense of vitality renewed. This isn't about deprivation, it's about reclaiming your mobility and independence, one thoughtful bite at a time. Now, I truly want to hear from you. What was your biggest takeaway today? Are you ready to make one small change for your leg health? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Our community learns and grows immensely when we share with one another. If this video provided value, please give it a like. It helps others who might benefit from this information find it more easily. And ensure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss future health insights designed to empower you. Your engagement truly makes a difference. Thank you for watching. Stay strong, stay aware, and cherish those legs. They carry your independence. Take care.